Okay, so in this video, we're going to walk through a brief example of how I can split our list class into multiple files. So we're going to modify our singly linked list code from week 3 so that the class declaration is in a header file and the definitions of its member functions are in a C++ file. Okay, so let me switch over to Emacs. Okay, so here on the right side, I'm showing you our current C++ file. And in this file, I currently have the class declaration for list up here at the top. It includes the iterator, it includes list node, includes all the functions we implemented. This file also includes all the function definitions. It doesn't look very good here because I blowed up. I made the text size large so it doesn't easily fit on one line, but and then it has the main function that we could run. Okay, so all of this is in one file. So what I'm going to do is separate out the class into a separate header file. And I'm going to call this header file list.h. And what I'm going to do is just copy over this entire class declaration. Let's see, I've got too much. Okay, let's start there at the semicolon. I'm going to capture all of this stuff that's part of class. I'm going to cut it out of that file and paste it into my list.h over here. Okay, I also need this using declaration inside list.h. Okay, so now let me make this a little smaller. So now in my header file, I just have my class, and that's all. Okay, now I can, over here, since I no longer have this class declaration, I need to include list.h. Actually, let's put it in single quotes to let us know this isn't a standard header. It's just a header that we've implemented. So we have pound include list.h. And that will grab the contents of this list.h file and include them whenever we compile the C++ file. Now you notice that I have a bunch of functions already implemented over here, and it's because they're out of class definitions. I don't need to move them. I can just leave them here in the C++ file. And after I include the class declaration, then the compiler will understand that append is really part of the list class and is providing the implementation for this append function. Likewise, my class declaration has remove after, and then down here, this remove after definition has that list : at the beginning to let the compiler know, okay, this is the remove after that goes with the list class that you previously told me about in the class declaration. Okay, so the header file and the implementation of these functions all go together. And now the neat thing is if we look at how we want to compile this, I'll just pull it in the makefile. I don't specify the header file in the compile command at all, because what happens is I ask it to compile the C++ file. The C++ file includes that header file, and so the compiler goes and finds it for us automatically. And since I put the header file and the source file in the same directory, the compiler will look in the same directory I'm compiling and it'll find it for me. So just to show this, here we go. In this directory, I have my list.cpp and I have my list.h. And then when we type out this compile command, asking it to compile list CPP, it's gonna gladly do that and bring those two files together. Okay, and then I can run. And this is just executing this similar code we've seen before, where we add milk, eggs, and coffee into a list, and then we iterate over them. Okay, so it's really not that hard. The one trick, though, is that if you have if your functions were previously unified in your class declaration, then you need to pull the functions out and implement them inside your source code file, and that would mean writing them out in this form where before inside the class, it doesn't have this class name specifier at the beginning. It would just be like void remove after. But now when I move it into the C++ file, I need to include the header to get the class declaration, and I need to put this list : prefix on the front of the member function so the compiler knows that this is really part of the list class.